Hello there, and welcome to the WP Builds News once again. This is the WordPress news, which was released on Monday, the 22nd of October 2018, and it covers the WordPress news from the week commencing the 15th of October 2018. Just a couple of things before we get stuck into the news. Please go over to wpbuilds.com, where you'll find a whole bunch of links at the top of the website. For example, there's the subscribe link, which will allow you to join us on our Facebook group, which is growing day by day. We've got a Slack channel, which is really just for us telling you when we release new stuff. We provide messenger updates, same thing, just new stuff. We don't try to communicate too much on there. And we've got a YouTube channel where we push all of this content out. Also, please go to the deals page, which is wpbuilds.com/deals, where you'll find a whole host of coupon codes for WordPress products. And so, for example, we've got Beaver Team Pro, Main WP, Erin Flynn's courses, Blog Vault, Malcare, Toolset, and so on. And you can get significant savings from those. And just to say, we've got our giveaway, our quite good giveaway. If you go to wpbuilds.com/100, you've got a chance. There's about another 9 days left on this one, and you've got a chance of entering and winning a gigantic boatload of WordPress stuff. There's every plugin under the sun. I won't list them all now because I've done it many times before, but there's absolutely loads of them, so go check it out. Also, we'd very much appreciate it if you go over to iTunes and leave us a nice review. That would be most welcome. And one last thing, just to say that I have a really very sore throat, which is making it quite difficult for me to speak today. So if my voice sounds a bit rubbish, I do apologise about that. But that's how it is for me today. Okay, right, the first piece of WordPress news is to say that the make.wordpress.org website are announcing the introduction of the new theme 2019, obviously with the advent of Gutenberg in the next few weeks. We've got a new theme to do with that, and the make.wordpress.org website talks about what's in this and the timeline for its release and how you might get yourself involved. It's not really a lot to say. It looks really nice. You know, it's a simple, fairly straightforward, responsive theme which has Gutenberg compatibility built in. So yeah, obviously 2019 will be the new default WordPress theme, so worth checking out prior to its release. Speaking of Gutenberg, if you go to the wptavern.com website, there is an article entitled Gutenberg Accessibility Audit Postponed Indefinitely. Now, this is a little bit of a complicated article in that it's felt by people who study accessibility and who've got accessibility as their main thing that Gutenberg hasn't really done enough. Some people go as far as to say that in its current state, Gutenberg is a little bit unusable if you are using a screen reader or have accessibility needs. And the idea was that there was going to be an audit, or at least Matthew MacPherson, who announced this 2 weeks ago, said we're going to do an audit. Well, apparently that's not really the case. This has had to be put on hold because there isn't really enough what's the word? I suppose enough momentum to get it going. Anyway, it's been postponed, and the wptavern.com website explains why. I think really the idea is it's been kicked down the road a little bit, and it will come in the near future. But Automatic, by the sounds of it, have decided not now. There's enough other stuff to focus on, and we'll worry about the accessibility stuff slightly later on. Okay, speaking of accessibility, this is also on the WP Tavern website. This is entitled Gutenberg Team Addresses Accessibility Concerns, Highlights Tools and Features That Surpass the Classic Editor. Well, in this article, it feels a bit like Automatic, kind of fighting back and saying, look, it's not as bad as you think. We've had 270 accessibility specific tickets and we've closed the majority of them. We've got 90 remaining. And actually, the feeling is that maybe Gutenberg is actually better in terms of accessibility than the classic editor ever was. So go and read this article. Yeah, sure enough, in it they're saying there's a load more that can be done, but for now, possibly it's as good as it needs to be for now, and we'll get more done down the road. Okay, if you're a fan of ACF, more about Gutenberg, I suppose. ACF 5.8 Beta 1 introduces block features. And the idea here really is if you don't know JavaScript, conjuring up blocks for Gutenberg can be quite difficult, but ACF are hoping to make that very simple with a little sort of snippet of copy-pastable code in your functions.php file. Thereafter, you should be able to create blocks of your own, and there's a link on there to the ACF beta website where you can find out about this yourself. So if you fancy creating a group of fields using ACF and then having those as a little Gutenberg block, ACF are going to make that possible in their new beta release, so you might want to go and check it out. Now, I've got two articles here about serverless. Now, serverless is the idea. On the podcast, we had the guys from Press and Shifter, and they've got this serverless WordPress stack, both of them, whereby they take your WordPress site and they examine it after you've edited it and logged out of your WordPress admin, and they flatten all of your pages and posts into just static HTML, so it's served up really quick. And this article by Code in WP draws attention to what those two platforms offer. It goes into some of the things that you can do and some of the things that you can't do. And I just thought it was a really useful little write-up. You could see what the pros are and the cons are. Certainly it's faster, it's definitely more secure, but it doesn't do a whole lot of things like, you can't do things like WooCommerce and you can't do forms particularly easily. Well, not most forms anyway. And the reason I mentioned that article really is because of this next one, which is at northstack.com. Now, this is from the guys over at Pagely, who are a premium WordPress managed hosting company, and they've released this Northstack stack. That's a mouthful. And the idea, this is really just a press release that I've got hold of here, but the idea is they're pushing their own platform, and it's not just going to be serverless in the HardyPress and Shifter way of doing things. They're going to charge for absolutely everything specifically. So the number of page views, the amount of storage, things that go across the cables and so on. They're going to charge for all of these things, the amount of interaction with the database and CPU cycles. So it looks like an interesting thing. Maybe serverless is going to be a thing in the future. Pagely certainly investing in it with their Northstack stuff. So yeah, go check that out as well. Right, the next one is all about privacy. And this is WP Tavern once again, and it's entitled WordPress Privacy Contributors Begin Work on V2 Roadmap. And it's a very, very interesting article all about the fact that the privacy statement does need to be sort of souped up. Obviously, we got privacy, I can't remember when it was, but it feels like it was about 3 or 4 months ago. A new default version of WordPress now has a sort of templated privacy page which you can use for your own privacy page, and it's been decided that there's going to be a new privacy working group to facilitate the creation of privacy statements. And what's lovely about this is that it's going to, hopefully it's going to be a cross CMS effort with the guys from Drupal, WordPress and Joomla all contributing in, and Heather Burns, who is a privacy advocate and specifically around CMSs, she apparently is going to sort of, take the reins of this and get this whole thing going. So I love all of this stuff. When we get CMSs joining together, I just think that's lovely. So go check that out. The next one is, if you're a user of WPMU Dev's product, they've got this plugin called Defender. Think WordFence, think iThemes security. The idea is that it's supposed to harden your WordPress site. They have a free version, which is available on the repo. It's reached version 2.0, and they've added in default two-factor authentication. So you can force users of your website to use two-factor authentication, like the Google Authenticator app, or you can let them bypass without any of that. But they're also offering for people who've got their premium, their paid-for membership subscription, the WPMU Dev subscription, they're offering to clean up your sites for you. So manually, human beings will go through and clean up your sites. If you've got a backup, they'll restore that for you, and so on and so forth. So I just thought that was quite interesting. They've also got an XML RPC disabler. So, if you use that, which probably you should have switched off if you've got no need for it to be switched on, they've got an option in there to switch that off as well. So an interesting development. And if you're a subscriber to their stuff, that's maybe something you just want to look at. Okay, the next one is from woocommerce.wordpress.com, WooCommerce 3.4.6 Security Fix Release Notes, and it's a security release basically. The previous version, so version 3.4.5 and earlier, were affected by a handful of issues that allowed shop managers to exceed their capabilities and perform malicious actions. These issues could be exploited by users with shop manager capabilities or greater, and we recommend that all users running WooCommerce 3.x prior to 3.4.6 get themselves updated pretty quickly. Basically, it allowed permissions to be incorrectly set, so on and so forth. So yeah, go check that out. Right, this one I stumbled across this week. I'm going to quickly back out of this on my screen here, otherwise you're all going to be subjected to a YouTube video. But Zach Gordon and Joe Casabona, I didn't know they did this, but they've got this thing called the Gutenberg Live Show, and they do a YouTube Live each fortnight, and I think they're on episode 15 at the moment. They just talk about Gutenberg, and obviously they're both experts. They've both got courses about Gutenberg, and this is their bread and butter. They know it inside out, so I just thought that was interesting and worthy of mention. If you're following Gutenberg, go and check out their stuff. New plugin for you this week on the WordPress.org repo. This one is called ELU Hide Admin Menu, and it's basically just a plugin which allows you to hide anything that you choose from the admin menu. So you can hide things on the admin menu, the admin bar, you can customize it by role, you can show things, only to editors, only to administrators, and so on. And you set it up once and forget it basically, and it works on multi-site. So maybe if you've got clients and you want to hide various things in the admin bar, I know there's current ways of doing it, but maybe this is one to look at. Okay, next one, the deliciousbrains.com website. An article about emails, and at the end the author of this article points out that perhaps it was a bit boring. Well, I found it absolutely riveting. I don't know why, because I'm a bit sad. And it's about the fact that they've built a queue system, an email queue system, so that they can send out emails through Amazon SES at the rate of 100 emails per second. I cannot go through the detail because it genuinely is hard for me to explain, but basically they've got this 4-step process where if you're sending out bulk emails through WP Mailer, this hijacks that and then sends it through Amazon SES, simple email service, and will do 100 per second. So if you've got a huge user base and you want to send out emails, then this might be the thing for you. Really fascinating. Okay. GeneratePress and Elementor design course. Now this one is by somebody that's in our Facebook group, Moore Cohen. She's got a GeneratePress and Elementor design course which is rolling out soon. She's got early bird pricing. She knows her stuff. She's got recommendations on her website from Ben from Elementor and Tom from GeneratePress. And really this is for those people who want to get their design chops up and want to look at how to make sites with Elementor and GeneratePress quickly and simply. Two great options, I would say. And at the moment she's offering this course for $247, and in the near future I think she's going to bump that price up significantly. So maybe if you're into that, go look at that one as well. Okay, last WordPress one. WordCamp for Publishers seeks host city for 2019. I think we've had 2 WordCamp for Publishers, one in Denver in 2017 and then Chicago was earlier this year. And they're looking for a 3rd place. Now, if you are living in a city or a place where you think this could come, go and check this article out, and it explains what's got to be in place. You've got to have the ability to do this, 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 and this. Otherwise, it really wouldn't be a professional and suitable WordCamp. But if you believe that you can help out with this, go check it out. Okay, couple of non-WordPress ones. The first one is on the TechCrunch website. I'm going to leave this one to you. Just go check it out. This is utterly breathtaking. I don't know where. I think it might have been Caltech. Caltech have invented a camera which will take 10 trillion frames per second. And at that speed, you can actually watch light moving, individual photons of light. And they've got a little video of a photon of light bouncing off a surface and actually penetrating through it. It's utterly incredible. They claim that they're going to be able to make it 100 times faster in the near future. So just science nerdy stuff that, but I thought it was absolutely fascinating. And the very, very last one, if, like me, you use time trackers to track your time for one reason or another so that you can bill clients and so on, but you're reluctant to pay for one, there's this one, tracker.toptal.com. tracker.toptal.com, and they've got this absolutely free time tracker app which does all sorts of whiz-bang stuff, so maybe that's just something you would like to check out. Right, I'm sorry about my voice this week. It's really let me down a little bit, and I've struggled to say what I wanted to say, but I hope that you managed to get some value out of that regardless. Thank you for listening. I hope that you go and enter the wpbuilds.com giveaway, wpbuilds.com/100, and I hope to see you on the next podcast on Thursday, and hopefully my voice will be returned by then. Bye-bye.